there's a thing too that like I think is a good perspective to have in like our position or like anyone's position is like your future self will always look back on any period of time with like fond memories.
Or a slight amount of cringe and regret, but that's good because that means you've
grown. Yeah.
If you look back on yourself like 10 years ago and be like, I was killing it, that sucks. That means you are worse now.
Yeah, true.
You should
suck.
You should be like wine. You should get better with age.
Yeah.
Everyone is a human being.
I'd agree with that.
Like people are like, dude, imagine being like Benji Madden right now. That's the lead singer of Good Charlotte, right?
He's married to fucking
Cameron Diaz.
I know Benji. He's actually a nice guy.
What?
Yeah. I was with him like a year ago here.
Okay. I feel bad for shitting on him. No, I'm not shitting on him. I love Good Charlotte and I really like him. But I'm saying...
You're right, the peak of that. But
I mean, his career, but he's probably a better person now.
I was going to say, like, knowing... Like, that's the difference, though, I reckon, is that you get guys where, like, yeah, their career was, like, massive and it's, like, a moment. And you can live... Like, that's a big thing with athletes. That's why you see a lot of, like, depression in athletes. Because, like, people haven't reconciled... Like, they're at their peak... And then it's like...
Well, it's not going to last forever.
And it doesn't last forever. And then they don't prepare themselves for that. And I think that there was quite a bit of that with like Benji because he had like a big drug problem and shit like that. Oh, yeah.
It's like you can't have a mohawk as a grown man and be also thinking about your future. That doesn't exist. That's such a in the present move. You can't be like, hang on. Just like, imagine... Benji, we're going to go to the airport. And he's like just gelling up his hair and looking at himself in the eye while he's doing it and being like, what a good decision this is.
This is a good idea.
In 10 years, I will look back on this gelling moment and look back on this period of my life fondly. Fuck no.
Green Day, probably the same thing.
I mean, yeah, the eyeliner, regrettable.
Yeah.
But, you know, now I'm sure they're just guys with kids going like, well, it was at the time we thought it was cool.
Somewhere